Today we're talking about the P-Sharan, which is it's a cardboard pinhole camera. My sister bought this for me at I think at an art gallery somewhere. One of the very few cameras these days that's actually made in Japan. And it comes flat and with a whole bunch of little stickers, and you get to assemble the very good instructions, or pardon me, you have to follow the very good instructions and assemble it all by hand. You can't really see this, but you have to make sure that the stickers that you put on are the correct way, otherwise you'll end up making it go upside down. The focal length on this is 25 millimeters, f140. It takes 35 millimeter film, and it's really actually about as plain Jane simple as a camera gets. It's film, put it in here, it's full of film, otherwise I'd show you. Then you wind it across and it actually gives you instructions. It says first time, turn it 1.5 turns. Replace the back cover, and 3 turns after each frame, which makes your spacing pretty awful, but at least you don't end up with overlapping frames. It has some nice little viewfinder here and a self-timer switch just in case you want to look the part. This is basically the most basic kind of a camera. Something that is light sensitive and a little tiny pinhole to let things through. It's a lot of fun to shoot with. The exposure is in sun, 2 to 3 seconds, in cloud, 3 to 4 seconds, and at night, 10 minutes, which makes for a really, you don't want to shoot slide film in this, that's for sure. You definitely want to make sure you have neg film, and just total guess is what you work with. I mean, you could actually set your meter to f140 and get an exposure, but then who knows what you're getting. And besides, really the image is much more about actually getting something on film than it is about getting it exactly right. And that said, the question, of course, is how do the images look? And the images look like what you'd get off of a paper camera. It was made by stickers and built together. I mean, you can actually get fairly sharp images, but you have no idea what, it says the field of view is 25 millimeters, but what does that mean? You end up getting all kinds of things in that you weren't expecting, and it's, I don't know, like I feel about this the same way I feel about Holgas, which is that there are so many things that could go wrong, and there are so many possibilities and options that you can't account for, that it's fun to do and it's an interesting exercise, but I sure wouldn't bring this on a family vacation, for instance, and I wouldn't commit any really important images to it, because in all likelihood you may or may not have anything there anyway. But today we went down to Gastown in Vancouver and wandered around for a bit and taken some photographs in one of the preeminent tourist destinations, and I have to tell you that I was very proud to be the only person there with a carbon fiber tripod and a pinhole camera, but also I was the only person there with, I had the least technologically advanced camera. Even the people with iPhones and iPads were way ahead of me from a technological point of view. But we struck up an interesting conversation with a Chinese couple who, the husband was a very avid photographer, and he came right over and wanted to know what we were shooting with, and it took a while to explain that it was nothing special. No, definitely not a Leica. No, not a Hasselblad X-Pan. Just some cardboard and a hole. So anyway, it was a good time. I think we got some good shots. It's a fun little camera. It's one of those situations where you really have to throw up your hands and say, whatever we get is what we get. Every camera these days has so much control, and you get immediate feedback. And shooting with the camera where you have zero feedback, including you can't even be certain what you're looking at, does tend to make a completely different experience when it comes to taking photographs. And it's a lot of fun. It's really frustrating. And of all the images I've shot, there might be a couple that I think are worthwhile of printing up. But it's a nice way to free yourself from all the technological advances that we have, and it's certainly, the price is right. I don't know what these things cost, but I think they're just a few dollars, and a roll of film and you're good to go. There's no feedback from this camera. You don't even know really what you're shooting until you see the film afterwards. It is as basic as it gets. You know, you make it out of card with some stickers, and it is sort of the, you know, it's too strong to say it's the essence of photography. But in many ways it really is. I love how it frees you from all the technological advances that we have right now. And it's absolutely worthwhile to go out and give it a shot. You know, it's relatively inexpensive. It doesn't cost too much in terms of time or money, and it's you know, what can I say? It's all a mystery until you get the photos back, and that's actually kind of fun.